Hi YouTube, Darth here. This right here, this is the mobile anti-aircraft, the mobile AA, the MAA, or the noob cart. It's easily the most hated vehicle in Battlefield 4. Like the title says, MAAs are obviously OP. LOL at MAA users defending their OP glitchmobile. OMG TLDR. You get the idea. It's also one of the most elusive unicorns. Most players I see keep it parked in their base, far away from harm, and far away from the action. Well, today I want to show you how you can break that stereotype and rub the enemy's nose in just how deadly this battleship can be. First, let's get to know this death wagon. The list of pros for the MAA are many. The MAA is just as tough as the other infantry fighting vehicles. This means that it can take roughly 3 anti-tank shells or rockets to any of its 4 sides before being destroyed. The DPS of the MAA cannons are incredibly high. They can destroy aircraft in less than 3 seconds of sustained fire or infantry in roughly 1 second, or less with consecutive headshots. It can equip the same countermeasures as the other armored vehicles. In most cases, this is going to mean the active protection if a player has it unlocked. It's the only vehicle where the primary vehicle user can equip proximity scan. This is incredibly important for using the vehicle in an aggressive way. Like all the infantry fighting vehicles, the MAA is amphibious. This is just another nice little utility that adds to the do-anything capabilities of this vehicle. But it's also not without its shortcomings. The MAA is exceptionally vulnerable to other armored threats. There are very small windows of opportunity where the MAA can win against tanks and other IFVs, and if they're aware of you, this becomes even harder to accomplish. For the most part, an MAA in the sights of anti-armor is a dead MAA. It's worth mentioning that because you are the mobile anti-aircraft, the most hated vehicle in all of Battlefield, people make you a priority target, even at their own detriment. Before I talk about playing aggressively, I want to at least mention the setup I'm using to make this work. Firstly, I use the 30mm as a primary weapon. I experimented a bit with this, and looking at the statistics on Simthic, the 30mm does slightly more baseline DPS. While playing with the setup, it proved to be more useful for hitting and killing infantry before they could duck behind cover. It does far more damage to other vehicles, especially light vehicles. The base spread on the 30mm cannon is 0, which means your first shot is almost guaranteed to hit. But the spread increases quickly, so be sure to burst the weapon, and it's practically a sniper rifle. As a secondary weapon, I use the Zuni rockets. You'll still have guns to deal with the air threat, and the Zuni rocket provides too many benefits to the aggressive AA to pass up. This choice lets me hit infantry that may be hiding behind obstacles, take out buildings, or as a powerful point defense against other armored vehicles. Close in is where you don't want enemy armor, but it's really the most effective range for the Zuni rocket to take them out. If you choose an anti-air missile instead, keep in mind that you then have nothing to deal with enemy armor. As a countermeasure, I run the Active Protection. I really don't think there's another choice here, as Active Protection provides a shield of nigh invulnerability that can really save you from surprises. For optics, I prefer zoom optics, as the 30mm cannon is a potent long-range weapon if burst-fired. However, if you prefer IRNV or thermal, those are perfectly reasonable choices, especially since the special optics are useful for spotting mines that might otherwise catch you unawares. And finally, in the upgrade slot, I use the proximity scan. As I said earlier, this is the only vehicle whose primary user can deploy with a proximity scan. It acts as sort of an all-seeing radar for your vehicle, pointing out enemies behind walls, C4 kamikazes sneaking up on you, and generally anything within 30 meters of your vehicle. This upgrade is extremely effective for aggressive plays as it lets you get in on an otherwise tight flag capture and anticipate enemy attacks. The moment the enemy infantry makes themselves visible, they are easily shredded by cannon fire. One last potent addition to this setup is playing as an engineer with a repair torch and the repair field upgrades. Since you're up close to the action, you're going to be taking damage that you're going to need to repair quickly. And the faster you can get repaired, the sooner you're back and delivering the pain. This setup works really well for getting in the action, but you really have to be on your game as every enemy will likely be targeting you. Like other armored vehicles, you greatly increase your survivability when you're supporting and supported by friendly players. Just a few infantry in support, and it's easy to overrun an enemy point and clean up any survivors with proximity scan. However, you must be absolutely aware of where the enemy air power and armor is or could be coming from. They're the greatest threat to your survival, and you cannot let tanks catch you at mid-range or you're going to be in serious trouble. Try keeping an eye on the map in-game or battle log map on a second monitor or tablet. You also cannot let good pilots, particularly good attack jet pilots, remain in the air. Remember to prioritize your threats and your targets. Try to always be aware of where the big armored threats are and keep aircraft out of the sky. This will give you time to pick off infantry when they're foolish enough to show themselves to you. So what's the big benefit of putting your mobile anti-aircraft in the middle of the action as opposed to staying safe in your base? Firstly, you're helping to capture points for your team as a particularly deadly scout vehicle. Secondly, not a lot of pilots expect AA to be hitting them from the middle of the map, as most AA tends to hide in the backfield. And finally, in the midfield, you're going to find a far larger concentration of infantry against which you are a devastating threat. So I recommend you try pushing the mobile AA past the usual safety of the spawn and mix it up against the enemy team. Remember that even though you're being aggressive with the AA, like with any armored vehicle, you cannot be foolishly aggressive. Watch out for the tanks, keep the air down, and punish the infantry, and soon your enemies will be begging for another MAA nerf. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please throw it a like. If you'd like to see more Battlefield 4 videos, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks again, YouTube, and I'll see you next time.